Something is happening with time. It's bending, it's warping, I don't know, but it was only 6 days ago that the Senate was trying to impeach Donald Trump. Remember that nonsense? 6 days ago. It seems like 6 years ago. No one was talking about it then. No one's talking about it now. At the moment, at the time, they tried to make it a big deal, but we kind of knew it wasn't. We just knew that in our hearts, that it was a fraud. And that's why people didn't really care, because they know it wasn't real. But people are talking about Governor Cuomo right now. Andrew Cuomo, darling of the Democratic Party, 3-4 months ago, certainly over the summer, there was talk about him and replacing Joe Biden as the nominee. He may go to jail when all this is over. He's in serious, serious trouble. The nursing home scandal is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez from the far left, has also called for an investigation, even though one is already underway. It's now the safe, politically expedient thing to do. But when AOC gets on your case, the far left against another Democrat, yeah, it becomes very, very real. But think again, Governor Cuomo and impeachment. I live in New York. People have been talking about Governor Cuomo and the situation here for a while, and they're still talking about it. Not only people in media, people on the street, people in the subway, the few that are still there. Nobody was talking about impeachment before, during, or after. Even the last impeachment over, the Ukraine phone call, nobody talked about that. They are talking about Governor Cuomo. What's my point here? One is real, and people know it. The other is fake, and people know it. The impeachment stuff, fake. Case against Governor Cuomo, it looks very, very bad, and people died. Stay tuned. We'll see what happens. Meanwhile, we got another figure in American life that no one really is talking about either. Joe Biden. It's so odd, isn't it? Kind of drifty. There he is. White House put this out. He's talking to governors about the situation in the country. I think he was supposed to be on the phone with Governor Abbott of Texas. This is Joe on top of the situation. But it's almost like he's a figurehead, right? No one really thinks he's in charge. Every now and then he makes not quite a speech, but some sort of scripted event, and something always goes wrong.
2 years ago, as you pointed out, when I last spoke in Munich, I was a private citizen. I was a professor, not an elected official.
Ooh, bringing that up, professor, not an elected official. That's right. It was just former Vice President, now a Professor Joe Biden, right? Ordinary Professor Joe. He made $1 million from the University of Pennsylvania for some ridiculous, very light speaking gig where he would drop by the university occasionally, and there he is calling himself a university professor. A lot of reasons why they're keeping Joe under wraps. He's got a lot of issues. Here's the guy really in charge. We talked about him before. His name is Ron Klain. He's been in the swamp for a very, very long time. He's worked for many Democrat presidents. But right now, a lot of folks feel that Joe Biden is working for Ron Klain. That's how powerful this person is. All right, so what's happening? Something weird. There's just an odd, drifty feel to it all. I don't see Joe Biden as being in charge, but there are things happening behind the scenes. Immigration, China. They want the folks to come up legally or illegally from down south. They do. When we see that, we see, hey, this is a problem. That looks pretty chaotic. We don't want all those people coming here, right? I mean, it's got to be done orderly and legally. Democrats, especially Democrat leadership, they see potential voters. And on the right, we see oppression of the Uyghurs in China. That is real. And we all know Donald Trump was very, very tough on China. Not Joe Biden. Not Joe Biden. Behind the scenes, they are making changes. And sometimes when those things actually come out to the forefront, it's shocking how clueless they are. Like when John Kerry talked about all the solar power jobs that are awaiting the employees just fired from the Keystone Pipeline.
Coal plants have been closing over the last 20 years. So what President Biden wants to do is make sure those folks have better choices, that they have alternatives, that they can be the people who go to work to make the solar panels. They were making them here at home. That is going to be a particular focus of the Build Back Better agenda. And I think that unfortunately workers have been fed a false narrative. No surprise, right? For the last few years, they've been fed the notion that somehow dealing with climate is coming at their expense. No, it's not.
Well, it just did. It just did. Here's a false narrative, literally a propaganda video put out by the Biden White House. Do you agree with this message? Do you think it's real?
Diplomacy is back. America is back.
Just because they say it, I don't know. And I sense no energy from Joe Biden. America is back. Wearing the mask at the desk and walking around as if Donald Trump never met Pierre Trudeau or Justin, whatever his name, the son, I guess. You know what was impressive? The string section. That's what had energy in that little clip. America right now, under Joe Biden's leadership feels very drifty and very odd. Democrat media, they're not pursuing the big issues that we just talked about. China, immigration. They're focused on weird, small stuff, usually stuff that's embarrassing to Republicans. Like Ted Cruz's vacation. Yikes. Ted made a mistake. We all know that by now. He probably made the problem a little bit worse when he said this.
And our girls, when they got the news that school was canceled this week, they said, "Look, why don't we take a trip? Let's go somewhere where it's not so cold." And Heidi and I, this had been a tough week, and this has been a tough year for kids all across the state of Texas. And so we were trying to be good parents and said, "Okay, we'll do it."
All right. I mean, it doesn't work that way in any household. The kids say, "Let's go," and then you just start packing the bags. I really, really like and admire Ted Cruz. He is very smart, so powerful when he speaks, and he's great. I think he has a few blind spots. We all do. But you know what? In my book, all is forgiven in this matter because of what the New York Times did to the Cruz family. Did you see this? They found some friend of the family's, and they looked at the text messages that his wife, Heidi Cruz, was putting out about a potential group trip to Cancun. Nothing criminal, nothing scandalous, nothing sexual, just friends talking. And the New York Times puts it on the front page. Is that fair? Is that reasonable? No. And what is Ted Cruz's real big problem here? Problem is that he did not act like a phony, baloney politician. We actually expect politicians to be phony baloney a little bit. It's kind of part of the job now. Media set this up, but it is what it is. Take Gavin Newsom when he's signing legislation about forest fires. Take this full if you would, huh? Do you think he could have done that in a cooler place like in his office? No, he's signing legislation out in the woods. He's doing that for effect. How about Governor Cuomo? We were talking about him a little bit earlier. You think he knows anything about fixing railroad tracks? No, but there he is down there getting in the way. That's what these guys do. That's what politicians always do. And it's not brand new either. Been going on for a long time. I want to show you a clip from a famous movie from a liberal perspective, but it's actually pretty good. It's called The Candidate with Robert Redford. Robert Redford is the Beto O'Rourke of his day. He's running for the Senate, and, well, watch what happens. They're going to a campaign event, and somebody gets a bright idea.
San Diego, our scheduled departure time will be in 15 minutes.
Gotta get off. It's gonna change the plan.
And welcome to Los Angeles.
Get off? What about the group in San Diego? Never mind that. We got a fire in Malibu. It's perfect.
A fire. It's perfect. It's perfect for us. All right, again, Redford is like the Beto O'Rourke guy running for the Senate. Hey, it's not just a movie. Rahm Emanuel, Barack Obama's chief of staff, famously said, "Never let a crisis go to waste." So they show up at the fire, but the incumbent has already beat him to the punch.
Been on the phone to the president, and 1 hour from now, Malibu will be declared a national disaster area. And I am assured that
You see, that's Beto. Beto's mad.
24 hours, this fire will be checked. Our concern is to make absolutely certain that these
This should have been Ted
disasters
Cruz.
do not occur in the future. That is why I am very happy to see that Mr. McKay took the trouble to be on hand for this announcement. And I want to add my personal thanks to all of the heroic volunteers who have risked their lives in this Holocaust to save the homes of their neighbors. Your actions and your efforts have been an inspiration to us all. So I say goodbye, God bless you, and good luck.
And he leaves there like a hero. Senator Crocker Jarman goes on a helicopter and flies out of there. Look, it's phony, but it's politics. And as much as I like Ted Cruz, and he's so smart, again, little blind spots. So I forgive him for that big time. You know who never played the phony political game? Didn't have to, because he just reinvented the game. Yep, him. And you know what? I think he's coming back.